Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Copeland, and I love supporting women on this journey of finding the right person for them at this time in their life, over 50. And today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's men, because I used to emasculate men like it was my job. I had no idea whatsoever I was doing that because I didn't really understand how men think. But I heard it from two men 2 years apart. And the first time I thought he was nuts because I'd always been really good friends with men. But the second time I heard it, I thought, oh, maybe there's something here I have to look into. And that's why I always like to focus on helping women understand men because it makes such a huge difference when you do. So, today, before we get started talking about men, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and to like this video. And if you want other topics about dating, post them below in the comments, and I'll be sure to see what you're saying and get on it. All right. So, let's talk today about 3 awesome tips about how the male mind thinks. All right. Do you love men? Do you love being around them? I always did. I think men are absolutely amazing. If you do, I'm sure you've noticed how different a man's energy is from the feminine energy of you and your girlfriends. And it's really common to assume that men think and act like women, just with different bodies. I remember a friend and I sat around over Cosmos back in the day of Sex in the City, and we were talking about this, and we looked at each other. We were a little tipsy, and we looked at each other and we said, do you think we're looking for women in men's bodies? And once I started studying and understanding men, yes, that is what we're usually looking for. But the problem is, this way of thinking can create tremendous frustration for you when you're trying to get your needs met in a relationship. And that's why today I'd like to share 3 really good tips about men with you that you can immediately put into action with all the men in your life. Now, tip number 1 is emotionally healthy men love making you happy. Are you surprised? It's true. Men really do want to make you happy. The secret is in knowing how to ask them for their help so they'll step up for you. And to do that, you can use the 4 magic words I've said many times on my channel. I need your help. Don't change them. It's I need your help. And when they do help you, the secret is not telling a man how to do what you've just asked of him. He doesn't like that because he feels like he can't please you if you're constantly standing over him saying, no, 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 do it this way. If you want help from a man, you want to graciously and appreciatively accept what he does for you, even if it's not exactly how you wanted it to look or how you might have done it yourself. Because a man's going to feel beaten down when you criticize him, and he's going to stop trying to make your life easier because he thinks he can't do anything right in your eyes. And that throws the burdens of everything right back on you, including a lack of cooperation from him. So you want to really, really understand this because they do want to make you happy. They do want to please you. And by constantly criticizing or not accepting what they do, they're going to stop, and it's going to make your life harder. Tip number 2, men are single focused creatures. Now, this is another area where we expect men to be like women, but because of human history going back to the caveman days, we're very, very different here. You see, men in the caveman days were out there hunting, and they absolutely had to focus on their prey and how they were going to bring this prey home as food for their family. And if while he was hunting, he started admiring the way natural plants draped the entrance of their cave, he would have become the prey for the animal he was hunting. It's from their caveman DNA that men can only focus on one thing at a time. Since we come from community that actually kept the animals away in the caveman days by talking, and at the same time we are talking, we're watching everything around us to keep our children safe. This is a big difference because we can multi-focus because that kept us safe. So keep in mind, men are single focus and you are multi-focus. And be careful of piling tasks on top of what you're asking a man to do because they cannot multi-focus. And when you expect him to, it really frustrates him because he doesn't know which task is going to make your life easier. Tip number 3. This is a big one. Men don't want you to bend like a pretzel for them. So many women have told me how they lost themselves in a relationship trying to please the man in their life. And why do women do this? Well, because back in the caveman day, you did everything possible so your guy would be safe and protected. He had the best food, he had the best of everything, because if you were left alone, you could die and your children could die. And this is so ingrained in our DNA. And it's amazing, isn't it? Thousands of years later, that we will often do this for men and bend like pretzels to make sure that they have the best or that they have what they want. But here's a secret. Men don't expect you to bend to the breaking point for them or even want you to. Men are attracted to women who have their own interests and the sexy inner glow that these passions spark in you. And when you give these up, your light dims. And then they truly wonder what happened to that woman I fell in love with. So you don't want to bend like a pretzel anymore. You do want to work with your guy to make things work and so that both of you have your needs met. And I want to leave you with this last thought. Men are actually pretty amazing once you understand them. And when you do, they're going to do everything in the power they have to give you a better life. Now, I want to inspire you about what this looks like because my client, Kathleen, is engaged to this amazing man as a result of what she learned about men. And here's what she said to me. I don't know how to say it for these ladies who want to find love to understand, but I was not looking for marriage. Technically, I wasn't even interested in marriage, yet I'm now engaged. These women need to listen and do exactly what you're saying about men, even if they don't find the relationship they want right away. Using what you teach made my date so much fun, even when it wasn't a match. I would say besides speaking a men's language, the thing I feel made the difference was that I was not desperate for a relationship and I just enjoyed the night meeting someone new and interesting. One of the things my guy said a while ago after I asked him the question, what do I bring to the table for you? His answer, your heart. I'm thinking that's what Lisa said that men love. This has been quite a journey, and I want to thank you for helping, advising, and encouraging me along the way. You really are good at your job, and I don't say that lightly. I am so in love thanks to what I learned from you. And that always brings so much to my heart because I know that you too can find love with the right tools and the right strategies. And if you're ready to take the next step, there's a link below to set up a time for us to talk about that and how to get you the kind of love that Kat has found. And if you're not quite ready, there's lots of resources below that will give you some ideas to keep you moving forward on this journey. Until the next time we meet, believing in you. Big hugs.